Parma was built in 1902 by Anderson, Roger & Co., Port Glasgow, as the Arrow, and measured 327 feet in length by 46 feet in the beam, a depth of 26 feet, and had a tonnage of 3,190 gross. She had 4 masts and was rigged as a barque, with royal sails over double top and top gallant sails. Originally owned by the Anglo-American Oil Co., used for carrying paraffin in small square cans known as cases, she was one of a fleet of 10 case oil carriers trading between New York, Philadelphia, Australia, and Japan. She could carry 127,000 cases. This business gave profitable employment to sailing vessels at low freights until about 1910. In 1911, the Arrow was sold to Ferdinand Laeisz, Hamburg, for £15,000 and was renamed Parma. At the outbreak of the First World War, she was interned at Iquique, Chile, and later in 1920 assigned as war damage reparations to the UK. Sold back to Ferdinand Laeisz for £10,000 in November 1921, for the next 10 years, she traded between Europe and Talcahuano, Chile, carrying nitrates with an average eastbound passage of 96 days. In 1931, Parma was sold to Captain Reuben de Clue and the well-known sailor, author and photographer Alan Villiers of Mariehamn, Finland. Carrying up to 62,000 bags of wheat in the Australian trade, Parma was the largest sailing ship under the Finnish flag at the time, holding that position until 1935 when Gustaf Ericsson bought Moshulu. Parma was employed in the wheat trade between Germany and Australia. In 1933, she sailed from Port Victoria to Falmouth in 83 days. This was the fastest ever achieved by a sailing ship. To quote Alan Villiers in his book The Last of the Windships, which describes this voyage, "Man has improved his ships along the times for a better use of the wind, until he reached perfection and see them surpassed by the machines." It was aboard this ship and a number of other square riggers that Alan Villiers made film documentaries to record the last sailing ships operating commercially. The large Villiers archive held by the National Maritime Museum includes photographs taken on the voyages he made on this ship. On the 1st of July 1936, being moved into Prince's Dock, Glasgow, by 2 tugs pulling against the wind, the Parma suddenly veered and struck an observation tower on the pierhead. As a result of the collision, plates in her hull were sprung open by falling coping stones from the quayside. Parma was sold to Reederei AB Parma, Mariehamn. She was stripped of her masts and rigging and converted to a hulk. In 1936, Parma was sold to Barnett Bras, London. She served as a hulk at Haifa, British Mandate of Palestine, now Israel, until 1938 when she was scrapped. A model of Parma can be seen at the Åland Maritime Museum, Mariehamn.